on the alternative between kind of rent or make versus buy, I do think that there's this really interesting kind of rent model. So, you know, the cell and gene therapy catapult in the UK builds space that they then will allow clients to come in and run their own facility. So from an overhead perspective, it's much lower barrier to entry. You know, so the clients have to provide their own equipment and their own personnel, if you will, but there are overarching quality systems and SOPs from a facility point. So that, again, that barrier to entry is different. And I think there's even like this fourth model. Well, first of all, I will say I'm actually surprised that that kind of rent model doesn't exist more pervasively, especially in the US. I kind of always expected that to be something that an agile investor would think about putting into place. I think that Elevate Bio actually has a their own model where they have their base camp that allows production for member companies within the greater family with Elevate to service kind of all the VC provided companies that fall under that umbrella. So, which I think is really interesting model. I actually think, if I'm not mistaken, that they can take clients from that fall outside of that umbrella, maybe at a different level. But again, these are other options that companies can consider in terms of true make versus true buy.
Yeah, that's Steve. That's very good. I before this gig worked for state economic development, and I share with you the thought that it's so surprising we have so little of what we would call build to lease or build to suit, where the feeling was build it and they will come. And there's all kinds of models like insourcing, where you could put your own employees in a facility, or you could hire from a CDMO to staff a place, or other models. So the great answer to that question is there are models. We don't seem to pursue them all that much. I know of some examples. One in Philadelphia, which is an editorial on OutsourcedPharma.com, where a huge amount of space is being built out, and then it's ready for lease to either CDMOs or to sponsors. So some of that is certainly coming on board. So that's excellent.